On everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Locks and Sleepers video, NBA video, going through some of my favorite plays on today's slate. Today we've got a nice little 8-game NBA slate, but we've also got the beginning of baseball. That's why this video is a little bit late. Been making teams this morning, watching some games. Been distracting me watching the Yankees game, so getting this video up a little bit late, but nonetheless, we're here and we're about to run through some plays. But I wanted to show you guys our passes we have for the MLB. Of course, as I mentioned, we've been getting the month pass up. That one is $40, and then we've got the season pass at $200. This will give you access to member chat, to our private live streams, which we are not going to be doing today, but we'll be doing for all main slates to start at like the 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern. We will have private live streams for our members on those, and you also get, the player breakdowns, the lock sheet, as we usually do. If you have any questions about that or what you get with our subscription, just hit us up on Twitter at Locks DFS. You can hit me up on Twitter at ByHardy. Regardless, definitely we'll be letting you guys know what we have going, and we also dropped our all access month pass right here to $74.95. This will get you access to baseball, get you access to basketball, get you access to NHL, get you access to the rest of college basketball, get you access to soccer. All of that is in that one all access month pass right there for $174.95 price. So definitely check that out. Again, if you have questions, we are on Twitter. I also wanted to mention, make sure if you like this video to hit that like button. It helps out the channel, helps us out, and we appreciate it a lot. And make sure if you want, and it also enters you to win a free season pass of baseball, basketball, whatever you want. So drop a comment. Let us know who you're playing tonight, who you like, whether they're in the video or whether they're not in the video. With that said, I am going to do a little bit of a different type of video today. I'll still be running down my favorite plays, but I'm not going to really be giving out any like super locks, but I will be running down some guys that I think you should be looking at heavily in your contest. So I'm going to go kind of game by game on this one, just because we have two games in particular that are extremely targetable. And the first one is going to be the Sacramento-New Orleans game, coming in at a 236.5 total. It is down from 239. Still the highest total on the day at 236.5. Pelicans top in pace. The Kings second in pace. Pelicans also bottom half in defense, and probably over the last few weeks a little bit worse, just because they don't care anymore. Frank Jackson is going to be out with concussion, which will start Ian Clark at the 2. You're going to see him pop up as one of the top values on the day. He, especially on DraftKings, where he is 3.7. On FanDuel, he's at 4.5. So not as much of a lock there, but we saw Clark get the run after Jackson left with that concussion in the last game. Again, a pace up against Sacramento here. So definitely looking at Ian Clark with Frank Jackson already ruled out. If we go to the rest of New Orleans, a lot of it depends on the status of Elfrid Payton and Anthony Davis. However, both are probable to play, so I'm going to operate as if they're both going to play. That puts me off of Julius Randle here at this 8.2 price. I just think you can do better today. And then another thing with New Orleans that kind of has affected things, and another guy you're going to see pop up as a value is going to be Christian Wood, who played 32 minutes last game. Of course, AD was out, so we just don't know where his minutes are going to be with AD in. If you trust the minutes, if you trust that he's going to be there again, or even if he's going to be at 20 minutes, he's a pretty solid value here. That said, to me, it's probably just a void with these New Orleans big guys, being Kenrick, Diallo, Wood, and of course Okafor. But with AD, and you would never really consider Okafor. But probably just gonna be in a void with these guys. I'm probably just with New Orleans. I'm gonna be looking at Ian Clark, and I'm going to be looking at Elfrid Payton, who will get some more shots up if he's in with Frank Jackson out, I would imagine. Other than that, Randall, I guess, is just a GPP play for me. There's just so many other plays you can pay up for today. On the Sacramento side, there's a little bit more of an interest. They have the bigger bump in terms of pace, and they're also just the better team. I actually think that both these teams are out of it, but it should be a competitive game just because neither one should run either one out of the gym. So Sacramento, you have the first guy that stands out to me is Bogdan Bogdanovic at 4.7K. If you're getting him at these 29-30 minutes here, he seems almost certain to hit value here in this type of game where he can grab a few more boards, maybe a few more assists, and he can put up more three-pointers, more shots. Definitely interested in Bogdan at that price. Keep on wanting to say Bojan. Also like Harrison Barnes in this mid-range here, who has been getting 30 to 33 minutes a game. He's really just not going to give you a ton of upside with his issue with Barnes, especially at this price of 5.6, just kind of restricting there. So he's a fine cash play, just not going to give you a ton of upside. I do still like Marvin Bagley at the 7K price. We saw his minutes down against Dallas. Not too concerned with that. I think he'll get back up to his 32 plus. Or I guess I'll give it like 28 plus. So let's give him that. And still easily coming in at value there. Not too worried about that. And again, a great pace, great spot for Bagley to grab a few extra boards and also give a big scoring performance. Outside of those three, you've got Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox, who are both solid plays as well in this type of pace up game. If I'm preferring one of the two, it's probably going to be Buddy, just because I can play him at the small forward. I can put him in a forward spot. I can play him at shooting guard. I can play him at small forward. That's real nice. De'Aaron Fox has single eligibility, which means I probably won't get as much of De'Aaron Fox today. But still, Fox and Buddy Hield are similar plays to me. There's the chat. And then let's go to the other game now. Let's go to the Clippers and the Bucks, which to me, Giannis comes in as the top stud of the day for me. He's going to be right there with Joel Embiid in terms of ownership as a top stud on the day. Both are very, very good plays and probably the top two guys I would go to pay up in cash games. Clippers running at a similar pace to Milwaukee. So this is a game that the total is nearing. It's actually up and it's nearing that Pelicans Sacramento Kings game. That Pelicans Kings game. So Giannis is a guy in a pace up game that I would be looking to target. Also going throughout this game, you've got on the Clippers side, you've got Gallo and you've got Lou Will, who I have a little bit more interest in. As you see with Patrick Beverley out, we could see Lou Will get a little bit more work off the bench, a little bit higher usage off the bench. The price did get bumped from his last game, and I think it is due to that, just because we could see a little bit more usage, a few more minutes as well for Lou Will. Still, one of my favorite plays in this game is Lou Will at 7.5K. Think that's still a totally fair price. So those are really the two guys I'm targeting in this game. There's not a lot of news that's going to open up value here. Harrell, this is a game that fits Montrezl Harrell also very, very well against Milwaukee in a game that will run and be pace up. And Milwaukee isn't a particularly good rebounding team either. So with all that said, let's kind of move on to the last spot I want to talk about, which is the Toronto Raptors, who will be missing Kawhi Leonard. I believe he is just resting. Yes. So we have an interesting spot here with Kyle Lowry, who's coming in super low owned right now. He's at 6.8K. He has been coming back from what I believe is an ankle injury. And as you can see, the minutes have been down in the two games he's been back. I'm optimistic we get the minutes back at around 30 here. Even if we get him at 28 in this matchup against the Knicks, I think he can easily hit value here. The more popular play, who has more secure minutes, is going to be Fred VanVleet at 4,800. Again, the minutes are safe. He's going to see some extra shots. He's actually about a fantasy point per minute with Kawhi off the floor. You're putting him at 26 minutes, and he's getting to value. So, and of course, he has upside for more than 26 in that starting role. So no problem with VanVleet. He should be a very popular play and definitely one of the top values right there with Ian Clark on the slate. He's again another guy who's a little bit more expensive on FanDuel, but still totally in play over there as well. And then lastly for Toronto, I also wanted to talk about Marc Gasol, whose price is way down here at 5.4. He's averaging in 187 minutes without Kawhi. He's averaging 1.28 fantasy points per minute. Probably just more boards. A little bit more scoring as well. So I definitely have some interest in Marc Gasol at this price in this matchup. No one down low that I'm too scared of for the Knicks. Not a good rebounding team. I just see Gasol really getting the value here at this price. I mean, the price just seems way too low in the matchup. And then, so those three guys really, I would love to hear more about Kyle Lowry and what's going on. If we don't get that, he's probably not a cash play for me, but I don't hate it at the price. I don't think he's going to bust you a 6A. definitely concerned about the minutes there. But that said, the last thing I want to talk about very briefly is the Knicks, just because it's another team that's banged up. We've got Dennis Smith Jr., we've got Trier, we've got Frank, all banged up. Smith and Trier are both questionable to play. If both are out, I'm going to be looking at Kadeem Allen here at the near min on DraftKings. And also you got Mudiay here at 5'7", who's definitely a value player who's been shooting a ton and playing a ton of minutes. So if these guys continue to be out, Mudiay and Kadeem Allen both become solid plays. Outside of that, if you have Kevin Knox out, again, another injury that kind of opens up is that you'll have Hazonia, more solid minutes if Knox is out here. You can kind of plug him in. He's been playing around 20 minutes, I believe. 26, yeah, you can kind of put him in, bump him up to more like a 30 range in there. So they just won't have very many guys who can play minutes, and he'll be one of them. So if we see Knox sit, he is questionable right now. So otherwise, I'm probably just avoiding these guys, and I'll probably just stick with Mudiay and Kadeem Allen. And then lastly, with Vonleh out, we do know that Mitchell Robinson should be in for about 20 minutes again, I'd say, in this game. Not a ton of upside at this price. Actually, I mean, considering that he could get run over DeAndre Jordan, just because at this point in the season, why are they running DeAndre Jordan out there? You have just more upside with Robinson. So, I mean, there is some upside there because, you know, he could end up getting a ton of minutes with Vonleh out. They don't have a ton of other guys to play down low. But I do think there is a floor here at the 4.4 price with Vonleh out. I mean, you know, you're getting the minutes. I don't know what his fantasy point per minute is. I don't have it written down here in my notes, but he's getting there. He's getting there in 20 minutes. So that's another play I like. So hopefully that has kind of given you a slight breakdown of the slate. As I mentioned, you know, two of my favorite studs are Giannis, and then you've also got, of course, Joel Embiid against a terrible Brooklyn team that can't defend down low. That game should run pretty close as well. So and you can, the good thing about this slate is you can rule out a few games. You know, you're not playing much at Orlando, Detroit. You're not playing much at a Dallas, Miami. You've got this game with injuries. You've got the Clippers and Milwaukee who are going to be paced up. Denver, Houston, another defensive type of game. Sacramento, New Orleans, and then in San Antonio, Cleveland, you could probably play some of the bigs for San Antonio. I kind of like Rudy Gay as well at that price if he starts. If he starts or he's off the bench, I really like them against a poor Cleveland rebounding team. But otherwise, there's not a lot really. You're looking at these two games. You're looking for injuries, and that's about it. So, hopefully that gave you a brief rundown of the slate. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and comment, and you'll have a chance to win a free pass from locksdfs.com. Don't forget that you can follow me. I don't even know if I'm logged into my Twitter or not. If I am, I'll show it to you. It's @byhardy right here. Tweet about, you know, just whatever's on my mind. So @byhardy, follow me. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. And also, come play baseball with us. It'll be fun. See you guys next time.